Ready to taste victory? Are you ready to take your sports betting to a whole new level? Sit up, put your feet on the floor, because we have work to do. Welcome to the grind. Welcome to Cappers Nation, your weekly all things sports betting show. Tune in live every Thursday at 8 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Let us make you a more successful sports bettor.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Cappers Nation Live. Sunday, game day edition. Don't miss out on a monster day that's coming up. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning. Dark and early in the mornings. Almost dark out here still in the morning. Will be in another couple of weeks. It'll be dark at this time. Hopefully everybody is having a blessed Sunday morning to start the day. Hot diggity dog. I don't know about you guys, but I am ready for a good day. Ready for a monster Sunday. Much like I did for my clients last Sunday, I plan to do again. So if you're on my personal plays, rest assured, they're coming, and it's going to be a good day. What time is it for you Americans? The old boy wants to know. Well, for me, it's 6:27 in the morning. I'll be honest, I woke up early this morning, and I did not want to get up. I just laid in bed, and laid in bed, and laid in bed, and laid in bed. And I just did not want to get up this morning. Went to bed early. Almost got too much sleep. Rode the new Peloton yesterday. Broke that sucker in. But you got to get up. You got to go to work. And you got to make some money. The work has been done. The breakdowns have been done. Brandon, send me a text message. Send me a text message, sir. Last time when you were going through those things, you said you were taking a break. And I haven't heard from you for my personal place, so just send me a text message or send me an email. Make sure I have your phone number. Brad, you're on Bayern to win. I am right there with you. I like that one. I like that one this morning. Soccer play yesterday. Torpedo. What a crock of shit that game was. That might have been one of the dirtiest soccer games that I've seen in a long time where nothing was called. I mean, hell, I think they even started fighting at one point. Nearly fighting. Fighting for soccer, which is like a little sissy push, you know. Kind of like college kids hitting each other in the helmet. Definitely looking for a big Sunday. Premium plays yesterday started out rough with some Louisiana Lafayette. Boy, I got to take them off the list. Louisiana Lafayette is coming off the money train list. They were an absolute money-making cover fest for us the last couple years. The Raging Cajuns are off the list. The Raging Cajuns are off the let's put the total over list. Not that we took the total on that one. And then Louisville and Pitt. Wow. 37 first half points. We're laying a total of 54 points. We just need 17 second half points. What does each team put up? 3 and 3. I'd like to say that if you didn't have bad luck, you'd have no luck at all. How those teams put up 6 total points in the second half combined was beyond me. 37 first half points, 6 in the second half. Wow. But it's okay. It's okay. We bounced back strong. LA Lakers covering the 5. Virginia Tech, which was a premium play, which I gave everybody. That was a nice one. So ended up going 2-2. No harm, no foul. We lost a tiny bit of juice. But we've got that big positive momentum going into today. And I'm definitely looking forward to it. My personal plays. All right. I laid the juice on Oklahoma to start. The fact that they didn't cover and that they were trending like they were going to, the fact that they actually lost the game outright, I did not mind. Hold on one second. So the fact that Oklahoma lost straight up to Kansas State, I think the state of affairs that we're going to see in college football, because of the fact that there are no gimme games for the SEC, there's no gimme games for the Pac-12, the Big Ten, the Big 12. They're not getting those out-of-conference gimme easy games. That they're used to, with the exception of the Auburn and Oregon, who would go at it in week 1. I like that, Brad. Keep me posted on the score, will you? Keep me posted on the score. So, I had Oklahoma. No big deal. We lost that one. Iowa State laying the 3. Talk about a rough ending. We end up with a push on Iowa State laying 3. I absolutely loved Iowa State yesterday. And what was it? A 33-yard catch and run by TCU to end the game. 7 seconds left. Wow. John Ryan said, anybody who said they had Kansas State yesterday could go jump off a cliff. I will tell you this. The South Point had one money line bet on Kansas State that paid 13-1. Out of every bet they took in yesterday, they had one on Kansas State money line. It was for $5. It was a $5 wager. That was it. Brad, I'll yell goal. I'll yell goal. I hope I yell goal 8 times. And then in the evening, we had Baylor laying 17.5 with the blowout winner. So I ended up going 1-1-1 when we should have been 2-1, but somehow Iowa State gave up that .33-yard catch and run with 7 seconds left to go in the game. Which, you know, that sports betting shit happens. The big Sunday, we'll talk about that in a minute. The big Saturday, guaranteed Saturday play was another huge success. Tulane laying the 3. Tulane laying the 3. Wasn't looking like it early. Was a nice back and forth little action game until Tulane finally decided to have enough and stop messing around with Southern Miss. And ended up blowing the doors off that one. So that was a great win for everybody that was on it. I know there was a ton of you guys on the guaranteed Saturday play. A ton. Big 12 definitely wishy-washy. That's a fact. That is a fact. I think we're going to see that in the state of affairs with college football. With no gimme games, no warm-ups, basically no tune-up games before conference play. Just straight conference showdowns. We're going to see exactly what we saw yesterday. We're going to see the Mississippi States roll in to Tiger Stadium and embarrass LSU. If you guys didn't see that, Mississippi State and Mike Leach, which is the former head coach of Washington State, that high-powered offense, the air raid attack, between him and Lane Kiffin, they're going to bring offense to the SEC. But what a showdown that was. They rolled into Tiger Stadium. And to all my LSU fans out there, LT, Danny Daniels, Who Dat Bob, hell, my cousin, everybody else, wow. You would think that Coach O would know what he was getting into, having faced Mike Leach for years coming out of the Pac-12. You would think that he would understand what he was getting into. Costello put up 623 total yards for Mississippi State. He had 585 yards passing. 585 yards passing. They beat LSU 44-34. Wow. Mike Leach comes into town, and in one game, breaks the SEC passing yard record for a single game yardage by a quarterback with Costello. LT, that's what we're going over. Mike Leach, coming from Washington State, leading Costello to 585 yards passing. Oh my Lord. Another 15.5-point dog winning outright. Free play yesterday. Daily free play. Auburn laying 6.5. When they finally got done playing with Kentucky, playing with their little stepbrother, they finally beat the snot out of them. That's a fact. So congratulations to everybody that tailed Auburn, tailed Virginia Tech. Long season for LSU. Long season for the entire SEC coming up. And that's the no tune-up games. SEC conference play. There's no conference like the SEC. There is none. It's the toughest conference in college football. And the fact that they get no tune-up games and they got to go at it, there's going to be, you know it's going to be funny. You know what's going to be funny is when the Pac-12 starts up in November and the Mountain West shows up and the MAC shows up. Watch these rankings. These now unbeaten teams playing a 6-game schedule. So you're telling me Oregon only has to roll through 6 games in the Pac-12. Obviously, they're going to have to survive some shootouts, just like some of these other teams or schools and other conferences are going to have to with no tune-up games. They'll actually have to survive 7, that in the Pac-12 title game. This will probably be the first time that you see in a long time a Pac-12 school have a chance, a legitimate chance. As Jeff said, this isn't your daddy's SEC, it's the COVID SEC. That's a fact. I will be happy. Actually, let me make this statement. I'm very happy we have college football. I'm very happy we have the NFL. I'm very happy we had a shortened Major League Baseball season. I'm very happy we had an NBA bubble. I'm very happy we had a hockey bubble. I'm very happy we had this during the last part of summer. It was very nice. It was an added bonus. To be honest, I thought we were going to be betting Belarus soccer in the English Premier League until, March again. But I'm glad we got what we got. We'll have college football or college basketball on November 25th. It should start up. Even though it's going to be a shortened season for them, it's near full schedule. Or not near full schedule, but, it's a pretty full schedule. It's more than I thought we were going to get. So I'm very happy to get what we got, but I'll be honest with you. I can't wait until we can go back to a normal schedule. I can't wait. The NFL not playing preseason, I don't really care about because I don't bet the preseason. I do use the preseason to watch players, personnel, matchups, and stuff of that nature to see who. It gives us a chance to keep track of players that are going to the practice squad and whatnot for players that might get injured and moved up or cut or traded, etc., etc., etc. So we lose that aspect. It's not a big deal, though. It's not a big deal. But as far as not having NFL preseason, I didn't mind it at all because that was 4 less weeks of bullshit that I didn't have to explain to people why we're not betting preseason and why you shouldn't have to. So that I didn't care about. But I will be happy when we get back to a full college football schedule, non-conference games, a full college basketball schedule with a full non-conference slate of games, a full NBA schedule, a full Major League Baseball schedule. I will be extremely happy when that happens. Extremely happy. Hopefully next year. Hopefully. All right, so what do we got today? We got NFL action. We have Major League Baseball. You've got the Celtics and the Heat. Game 6. As far as Major League Baseball goes, again, just like yesterday, we didn't play one baseball game yesterday. Not one. Today, there's a couple. There's a couple that we're definitely eyeing. There is one premium play in baseball that we put out that I absolutely love. When it comes to baseball today, there'll be very few that I'm even interested in. It's the last day of the regular season. Some teams don't give a shit. Some teams are using it just as a tune-up. Some teams are still playing to get in. Some teams are still playing for positioning. So there's still some value in baseball today, but far and few between. Far and few between. As far as the NBA, we'll try and go over that if we have time. As far as the NFL, we're going to start breaking that down. Got all my stuff popping up now. Cullum rolls. Who do you have, Ravens or Chiefs? Guys, who do you guys have, Ravens or Chiefs? But just so everybody knows, this is not a pick'em show where I give you free plays on the entire board that's out there. People that have been with us know the routine. We break down games. We try and find some angles. We put you guys on a couple free plays. And we go about our merry day. But I just want to put this statement out there. If you're here to get free plays, and I'm not calling you out, Mr. Rolls, I'm just saying it in general. But if you're here to get a free play on every single play on the board, go to SBR. Those jokers will give you every angle of every game 3 times during the day, both sides. You can get the Chiefs and the Ravens from them. Because that's not what we're about here. But we will definitely break it down. I'll give you my best personal opinion on them. Some of them I won't be able to talk about or give my opinion on because we have plays on them. And some of them we do. Or some of them I will be able to. But we will definitely make sure that we end up ahead more than we're not. Kyle B says, I'm a huge Chiefs fan. Thank you, Cullum, and I appreciate you being here. Trust me, I love that you're here. I love that everybody's here. Even if it's the haters that give us the thumbs downs or the people that come in with nasty comments, I appreciate everybody that's here. And I absolutely love doing what we do. William, good morning. I see your text message, sir. Thank you. Kyle B says, I'm a huge Chiefs fan. Our secondary is hurt, so I think the Ravens win. Robert S. says, if you try and play every game, you will lose. I did participate in the Bet Online Pick 'em All Challenge contest, where if you guess every game correctly, including the Monday night total over and under, and you wager at least $50 on the games, if you do, you win $100,000. But chances of me going umpteen and 0 today, let's be honest, very slim to none. Remember, folks, if you are in our Pick'em contest, you better get your picks in. If you are in our Pick'em contest, you better get your picks in. If you're in our Survivor Pool contest, you better get your picks in. No emailing me saying, hey, I meant to pick this team. I didn't pick that team. Can you add this one for me? Yada, yada, yada. No, we can't. No, we can't. So make sure, please make sure you enter your picks. Mine are in, or at least my Survivor Pool pick is in. And I've taken a different approach to our Survivor Pool. Because we get one mulligan within the first 4 weeks, I've decided to start taking shitty teams and hope that they win. And hope that I don't need my mulligan at all, and then I can knock out some shitty teams. So that's the strategy that I took. Now, I hadn't made my picks yet for the pick'em, which is I'm kind of glad that I came into the live chat, or that I'm talking about it, and I double checked, because I can see that a lot of people did not make their selections. A lot of people did not make their selections. 1, 2, 3. Do you know, and I can't wait to actually go over everything today, because week 3, historically, folks, is a very tough week for the betting public. Week 3 is generally a very tough week. And the lines are tight. The first 2 weeks, public comes out, starts trashing the books. Week 3 comes out, and you've got those 0-2 teams that are 0-2 straight up, a.k.a. Atlanta Falcons, 0-2 against the spread, a.k.a. Minnesota Vikings, Cincinnati Bengals, Philadelphia Eagles. And when 2 teams that are not 0-2, either against the spread or straight up, so take the Eagles and the Bengals out of it, kind of like the Dolphins, and I should have taken our own advice that we talked about. They're like 76% going back like 9 years. Not even home teams. Just 0-2 straight up or 0-2 against the spread. They're like 76% when playing another team that's not 0-2 against the spread. Those are pretty astonishing numbers. So like the Texans against the Steelers today. Historically, in that situation, The Texans coming in 0-2 straight up, and 0-2 against the spread against the 2-0 Steelers are like 76% in general of all teams in that situation. Pretty crazy stats. Jeff says my Vikings are trash. The fact that they couldn't get me one more single point for that $6,500 teaser that I made last week was a very big disappointment. Brad, you haven't given me any goal announcements. Where are you, Brad? What's the score of your game? Hoffenheim scores a goal early. Wow, at the 16-minute mark. Hot diggity dog. What is going on with your Bayern, huh? All right, so NFL Week 3. I express caution. Books usually clean up against the public on this week. So sometimes, if you're sitting there and you're thinking, this has just got to be too good to be true, chances are this week it just might be too good to be true. Wayne, how many picks did I pick on that $6,500 teaser? It was a 3-team teaser. It was a big fun one. It was one of those 10-point 3-team teasers, and I needed one single point by the Vikings or the Colts. I needed one. Everything else won. Matter of fact, I still have it loaded in the system. So this was last week. It was a big teaser that I placed. You know, and people out there, here's the thing with services, guys. Most don't bet their games. I do. Most will never show you a loser because they don't want you to know that they lost a game. And Wayne, it was a 3-team teaser. And that's what it looked like. Bet online, and they have a rule: anything above a 7-point teaser, ties lose, not ties reduce. But a 7-pointer would have been a loser anyway, so it was $6,500 to win $5,000. And you guys show me another service out there that will actually show you guys a $6,500 ticket, let alone any ticket where the bet amount's not blurred out. And that's a fact. Brad, they're yet to create a chance, and they've had the possession 73% of the time. They'll get it. They're just a slow starter today. They'll wake up. I see it's about halfway through the first half, though. So hopefully they wake up. Sooner rather than later. Sooner rather than later. Well, we're definitely real here, Wayne. That's a fact. We're definitely real here. And I bet what I say I'm going to bet. All right, so moving around. Week 3. Just getting everything popped up for us. Getting our live odds popped up. Remember, guys, if you want to have access to live real-time odds, just head to our website. Click on the odds tab. They are not scrapped XML feeds. They are not delayed. They are actually real-time. So if you're looking for the best odds around, who's got the best odds on the books, just head to our website. Easy to search. Dustin H. says, I think the public is going to fall on their sword when the Steelers lose. We will definitely see on that one. And we will definitely break down that game. Believe it or not, there's a lot of people that I know on the Vikings today. There's actually a lot of people on the Vikings today. But then again, remember, guys, that stat, public loses by fading the 0-2 teams. Everybody thinks their home team or their team or this team sucks because they start out 0-2 and they come back and have a monster in week 3. Brad, I'm not going to yell goal for that one because that one went to the wrong team. All right? That one went to the wrong team there. Bayern down 2-0 early. Early in that game. Wow. Bayern laying 2 with minus 111. And their team total was 3. Hell, the first half they were laying $1.89 on the money line. Wow. Still plenty of time, though. Still plenty of time, and we know the kind of damage that they can do when they wake up. All right, so back to the NFL. We're going to start our breakdowns there. A lot of individuals that I know riding the Vikings today, as well as taking the under in that game. Most of the other games, from a consensus report that I have access to, I can see a lot of high-profile people are pretty split throughout some of these marquee matchups. Brad, don't look at the score. I've seen the update. I bet the first half over 1.5 and over 2, and I bet it twice. Bet online let me bet it for 500, so I at least hit half. And hopefully Bayern can get one in the first half. That way I'm not rooting for the other team to get the full win. All right, so popping along. First game that we're going to touch, guys. We're going to reach out. We're going to touch some games here, all right? Let's take a look. Right off the bat, Vegas and New England. The 2-0 Raiders, who are 2-0 straight up and 2-0 on the over, head to New England, take on Cam Newton, Bill Belichick, who are 1-1 straight up, 1-1 against the spread, and 1-1 to the over. Both teams coming off their big wins. Both teams coming off, big games, not a big win for the Patriots. What a hell of an ending to that game was. On Sunday Night Football, they were catching 4. They ended up losing by 5. That game went way over the total of 44.5 against the Seahawks. I was not on that one, did not have $1 on that game. But I did watch its entirety. One hell of a game. The Raiders bested us. However, we hammered the snot out of the over in the Raiders and Saints game. Dustin H. says the Patriots are not losing this one coming off of a loss. Well, you do have to remember it is not Tom Brady anymore. It is Cam Newton, and Cam will do Cam things. Hopefully, I don't have any dollars on this game, not yet anyways. Raiders riding high with their monster win. 2-0 to start the year. Old Chucky and the Raiders. Derek Carr having a phenomenal game this last week. Short week for them after playing on Monday. They could not have had a better start to their season in Vegas. They have a pretty tough schedule to start. Not many people gave them a shot against New Orleans, and not many are giving them a shot this week. They might start to get a shot if for some reason they can pull through and survive week 3, because next week they get the Bills at home in Vegas. Then they go on the road and face the Chiefs. Then they get Tom Brady. Then they'll get a little breather against Cleveland. And then the Chargers. Matt Capper says the Patriots have no real weapons. See, they've never had real weapons, except for when they had Randy Moss and Tom Brady. Bill Belichick, there's probably nobody out there better than him than finding these players that get overlooked, underrated, and turning them into workhorses. Patriots do it year after year after year. So while they may not have that superstar wide receiver or that superstar back, they may not have the Derrick Henry. Hell, they don't even have a Juju Smith-Schuster. They're going to find one on their core, and they're going to make one that works for them. They do it year after year after year. Now, maybe that they're not paying Tom Brady, they'll be able to eventually, and I mean, paying Cam, what, $450K? Maybe they'll be able to shell out for some marquee players. Probably not, though. Patriots 19-6 against the spread the last 25 games against poor rushing teams, averaging less than 3.8 yards per carry. The Raiders 1-9 against the spread on the road after a straight-up win. And again, the Raiders 11-1 on the under after playing on Sunday Night Football. Keep in mind, these two teams, they have faced each other. It's been a while. So anybody who wants to tell you what happened in their last game matters today, it doesn't, all right? It doesn't. First of all, Tom Brady ain't on the team. Gruden wasn't coaching in 17. So the 33-8 beat down the Patriots put on the Raiders has no bearing. One thing that does remain, been a long time since the Raiders have marched into New England and got a victory. That's a fact. So when people want to try and put out there and say, oh, the Patriots are 5-1 against the spread their last 6 games against the Raiders, well, I got news for you. Some of you probably weren't even old, and actually most of you were probably not even old enough to even bet on them within the last 6 meetings. Hell, 5 meetings ago was in 2005. So I'd be willing to bet that some of you are not even old enough to gamble back in 2003. No doubt about it, Raiders are coming into a huge letdown situation on the road in New England, a place that they haven't won in absolute years. Coming off a 10-point huge victory over the Saints. Was it a huge victory, or were the Saints just overrated and the Raiders being underrated? That's one thing that we have to ask ourselves. All right? Taking a look at the numbers so far for the year. Obviously, these numbers, we really need to see 3-4 games under our belt before we can see some consistency. However, over the course of the last 2 games, the Raiders, with Derek Carr, put up 34 points a game up on the board. Monster for them. Points like never before. 124 yards a game on the ground on average, 3.8 yards per carry. Not a big number, not a big run number, but respectable 3.8 yards per carry. Averaging 249 in the air with Carr. Averaging 7.3 yards per passing attempt. 11 yards per point. Patriots on offense. Completely different look with Cam. The ability to run the ball. Averaging 142 on the ground. A nice 4.2 yards on average per carry. .268 in the air on average, 8.5 yards on average per passing attempt. Brad, that's probably a good idea. Speaking of the big Sunday NFL play, you need to be signed up by 4 p.m. Eastern Time. All right? You need to be signed up by 4 p.m. Eastern Time. It's $50. We're 2-0 on the year with them. We'll be 3-0 after today. Win, or our guarantee to you is if for some reason we don't win, we will give you the next free on the house. But we're winning this week just like we did last week and the week before. These were money makers last season, and we're going to do it again this season, all season long. As far as these two teams on defense, all right? First of all, Raiders giving up 27 points per game. Patriots giving up 23, excuse me. Both teams giving up 120 yards a game on the ground. Raiders averaging giving up 4.9 yards per carry, 4.2 per carry is what the Patriots defense has been giving up. Vegas gives up 285 yards a game in the air on average, giving up 7.9 yards per passing attempt, which is the average for both teams, the passing attempt. Patriots giving up 228 in the air on average every game. In screen notice, I just got that fixed. Patriots coming in +2 on turnovers. Raiders even, Steven. The fact that the Raiders are even on turnovers through 2 games, but not too shabby. Not too shabby. Give me 1 second, folks. There we go. There's a goal by Bayern. There we go. Goal. Oh, here you go, Brad. Goal. There you go. I did it for you, buddy. I'm telling you, you're going to win that one. They're going to cover. They're going to cover the 2. They're going to come back. And they're going to knock the snot out of them. All right? First half goes over. That's what matters. Did I see it? No, but I've got the sofa score update on. What a goal! Well, no offense, but I hope we see like a couple more really quickly. All right, a couple more really quickly. I'd love to see them win the first half, at least push the first half. Brad, I've got them, the over 3.5, as well as their team total over 3, and the first half over 1.5 and 2. So I love that it's 2-1 first half. That just made me $1,000. But back to the Raiders and Patriots. As far as this game goes, guys, taking a look at the opening number compared to where we are now. First of all, Patriots opened up laying 6.5. Total opened up at 47.5. BetOnline currently has the Patriots laying 6.5 minus $1.20, plus 100 at 6.5, plus 6.5 for the Raiders. So you could actually get them at plus 7 minus $1.15. You can get them plus the full touchdown. Total on this one over and under 47 points. This is one of the early games. As far as this one goes, I don't have $1 on this game yet. All right? I don't have $1 on this game. But I do think the Raiders could be in for a major letdown. But I do think the line is also kind of high. So, again, week 3, tightened lines, books are sharp. Extremely tough market. While I do lean the Raiders plus the 7 minus $1.15 at BetOnline, As of right now, I don't have a dollar on it. It'll probably stay that way. As far as the over, everything points towards the over in this matchup. Everything. Both teams' defense giving up 27 and 23. Hell, just their defensive numbers alone puts the total over. Then the fact that combined they're averaging 59.5 points a game on average combined, and the defenses are giving up 50. But I think could be a nice little trap, myself personally, with a low total of 47. I'm steering clear of the total. If you put the bullet to my head, I would lean the over. Jordan Gallagher says the Pats laying 6.5 is the play. 52% of the betting public is on the over, 48% on the under. 74% of the public rolling with the Patriots. Laying the points today, just 26% backing Vegas to go 3-0 on the season. So while I do lean towards the over, as of right now, I'm steering clear of it at this current moment. Not to say I may not have a play on it later or before game time, but as of right now, I'm staying off of it. Dustin H., great analysis right there. You know, Saints turned the ball back over to Derek Carr way too fast, and I agree with you 100%. I was on the over on that one. I pounded the snot out of the over in that game, so I did not mind the turnovers back to Carr and a couple points put up on the board. Patriots will more than likely, as Dustin H. has pointed out, won't be doing that. Jordan says the Raiders only beat the Saints because of the Michael Thomas injury. Well, I disagree with you, Jordan, for the fact that Drew Brees is not Drew Brees. Drew Brees is not the Drew Brees of last year. He had wide open receivers that he missed, overshot, bad throws, threw it behind him. But he also had receivers that he hit in the hands or in the chest and they dropped the ball. So you can't tell me Michael Thomas would have been targeted 100% of the time, because we know that's incorrect. The Patriots would have stuck at least one guy on him for the entire game. And more than likely, he'd be in double coverage quite a bit. And let's be honest, with Drew Brees' inability to be effective way down the field lately, I 100% not being disrespectful, but I disagree. Michael Thomas being injured is not the reason why the Saints lost, in my personal opinion. My personal opinion, it's not the reason why they lost. Okay? But everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and I respect your opinion. LT, straight from Louisiana, even says something wrong with Drew Brees. I agree. Bo King, it's already posted. You're probably seeing the Saturday play or your other plays. It was actually posted yesterday evening. So what you need to do, Bo, if you're using a cell phone, turn it sideways, then scroll down, look for your username. But if you're using a phone or a tablet, make sure you turn it sideways. Look for your username, and then hit the small little box that's got 4 little windows in it. Click that box. That'll take you to your members dashboard, then scroll all the way down. You'll see it under active resources. Click that, and then you'll be able to go back and forth from package to package, Bo. Package to package. But yeah, it's definitely posted. It was posted yesterday afternoon. And let me tell you, we're going to knock the socks off the books with that one. And guys, if you're not on it, now's the time to get on board. Now's the time to get on board. Big Sunday guaranteed play. Premium plays, buy 3 days, get 3 days free. But the big... Michael says premium plays waiting on you, Kyle. As far as I know, premium plays should be posted. My personal plays are not out yet. But premium plays are posted. Or they were posted. Or supposed to be posted. Should be posted. Let me double check. Unless they just didn't hit the save button. Which is always a possibility. Which is always a possibility. They did that yesterday with the with part of the UFC. Let me fix it because they were posted, and let me thank you, Michael, for letting me know. I could just copy and paste what they posted. Because they were supposed to be posted. Give me 1 second. Now, for everybody on our premium plays, it doesn't matter if you're on the restart package or not. There's football today. Check back. Log back into your premium play account. As Nathan just posted, check back into your premium play account. Around, I would say, 3 p.m. Okay? Check into your account around 3 p.m., 3:30 to be safe. But before 4, okay? Because there's a possibility there will be an added game. Jordan Gallagher says, last year the Saints didn't have Jenkins or Sanders. They'll be a great team once Thomas comes back. Well, again, I disagree. They gave up 34 points to Vegas. Derek Carr shredded the Saints defense. If they can't stop the ball and Drew Brees can't hit his receivers, I don't know how they're going to improve much with Michael Thomas coming back. But I get it. I know you're a diehard fan. But in a reality setting, when the Saints struggle with the Packers, because we all know Aaron Rodgers is on his game. Aaron Rodgers, they've put up 85 points over 2 games. And we're going to talk about that one a little bit later. And we'll get more in depth in that one later because we're going to be talking about the Saints. So we're getting a little off topic here. But the Saints defense is not all cracked up to what it was rated to be, in my opinion. But again, everybody has an opinion. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Opinions are like assholes. You know, everybody's got one. Where the Saints went wrong is they let Teddy go. I have never seen a backup quarterback that was so liked, adored, and loved like Teddy. When we were at the Saints game last year, and I got to tailgate with Who Dat Bob and Danny Daniels, and the Beau Rivage treated me and my wife to a game in their suite. When Drew Brees was struggling, the entire Superdome was chanting Teddy. He won 5 games for him when Drew Brees was out. The mistake the Saints made was putting Drew Brees back in against the Cardinals in that game. I like Bridgewater when he plays for a great coach that's offensive-minded. When he's got a great offensive line protecting him, as well as give him somebody that can run the ball as well. Takes a lot of stress off of him. Teddy makes very great in-game decisions when given the opportunities. You put any quarterback on a shitty team, and you're probably going to have shitty results. Phillip Rivers, if you would have put him on probably any other quality team, would have a Super Bowl or two. But no, you put him with a shitty offensive line, and now we know him as Pick Six Rivers. And to be honest, that's had no fault to Phillip Rivers. The Chargers for years didn't do nothing around him. So, in my personal opinion, Saints should have kept Teddy and parted ways with old Drew Brees. All right, so back to the breakdowns. Try and knock out some of these early games. Just did the Raiders and the Patriots, so if you missed that one. And remember, full disclaimer, a lean doesn't mean I'm betting it. A lean means I'm leaning towards it. It means I like it. Maybe I like it just a little bit. If I'm going to bet a lean, I will tell you guys that I will bet a lean. Hell, I usually show you a copy of my ticket. But just because I say I'm leaning towards something doesn't mean I'm not going to bet it later. And it also doesn't mean that I am going to bet it later. Raymond says, Kyle, leave my Colts out of this. I like Phillip Rivers. Anthony says, Teddy and Hill. I agree. It would have been a great combo in New Orleans. I have never seen a crowd erupt, a whole stadium erupt, for when the backup gets to come in and play at the end of the game. And Teddy can sling the ball, given a good opportunity. But so can a lot of quarterbacks. All right, guys, next one on the docket, Rams, Bills, game 463, 464. Both teams coming in 2-0. The Bills 1-1 against the spread. Rams 2-0 against the spread. Bills games have gone over. 2-0 to the over. 1-1 for the Rams. Bills have faced the Jets. They beat them. They covered the spread. The game went over 39. They beat them 27-17. They were laying 6 week 1. Last week, they beat the Fish. They beat the Dolphins 31-28. Dolphins came back, made a game out of it. Their defense gave up 28 points, though. 31-28. Went way over the total of 42 in that lightning-delayed game. The Rams on the other side. They have been a pick and a 2-point dog. And they're 2-0 straight up, 2-0 against the spread, and 1-1 on the over. First game went under against Dallas, where they were a pick. The total was 52. They won a very close scoring game, 20-17. But with all intents and purposes, the Rams probably should have been 1-1 had Coach McCarthy made better coaching decisions in that game. Evan Florence says Winston isn't a scrub, terrific backup. Just got to protect the football better. 100% agree. There is probably not many other quarterbacks out there that can sling it on the level of Winston. Now, he makes poor decisions when put into poor situations. But there is nobody out there, in my opinion, I can't think of another quarterback that has the zip on the ball, the accuracy, can throw it long, can make all of those passes. Aaron Rodgers, maybe. He's still got it for that old man. But as far as all the other new ones coming up, Winston gets a bad rap for all those interceptions because of the team that was built up around him. And you see that with Brady so far. throwing shitty balls in game one, throwing interceptions. Winston's a quality quarterback, and he's a good pickup for any team that can protect him. So week one, they were a pick. Week two, they were a 2-point dog. 2-point dog, they came in, went to Philadelphia, and they slaughtered the Eagles. Sorry, Dave. Sorry, Eagles fans. They slaughtered them, 37-19. Game went over the total of 46. Pretty easy. 2-point dog went into Philadelphia, and they won outright. Here they are again, a third week in a row, not favored. There is no love by the bookmakers. No love for the bookmakers for the Rams through the first 3 weeks of the season. I do think it's possible after this week they start getting, obviously next week against the Giants they'll be favored. Next week against Washington they'll be favored. Against the 49ers, if Garoppolo comes back, they'll probably be favored. This plus money on the Rams is going to change starting next week. Even if they were playing a better quality team on the road. The Rams did lose to Buffalo last time they played, but shit, that was 4 years ago. So don't even bother any of that. Jeff says he loves the Eagles today, and we'll talk about that one here in a little bit. Rams are 9-1 against the spread against ill-fated teams with a turnover differential of worse than negative 0.4. First of all, the line on this one, it opened up at 2. The Rams are now laying 1 minus 105, or excuse me, catching 1 minus 105, or plus 1.5 at minus $1.15. So it's down from 2 to plus 1.5. Total again low at 46.5 minus $1.17. Where we've seen a lot of points scored by both teams, and the Bills have been giving up the points, at least in the last game to the Dolphins. Buffalo 2-8 against the spread. At home against lesser rushing defenses, yielding more than 4.4 yards per carry. The Rams defense has given up 4.8 yards per carry on 128 yards a game on average. They're also giving up 243 yards a game in the air, holding teams to 5.9 yards per passing attempt. They're +1 on turnovers. I do like that part of the Rams defense. Danny Daniels, good morning, my brother. I hope you're doing well. Cheers if you're drinking coffee with your Cap Nation mug. The Bills on defense, holding teams to 75 yards rushing on average per game. Holding teams to 4.1 yards per carry. 256 in the air is what they're giving up. 6.3 yards per passing attempt. They're -1 through 2 games on turnovers. Not that bad. Offensive numbers. Rams averaging 28.5 points a game. The Bills averaging 29. This is definitely an evolving offense that's been years in the making for the Bills. The Bills are finally getting their offensive numbers up. They've always been a very quality, defensive-minded team the last couple years. Controlling the run was great the first 2 games of the season. They're giving up 22.5 points a game to opposing offenses. That's the Bills' defense, which is a number that I don't really like for the Bills. However, they're actually scoring more, so that's still a quality number. Considering through 2 games, they're putting up 29 points a game. But their opponents have a combined record of what? 1-4? Now on offense, the Rams, like I said, 28.5 points a game. They're averaging 172 yards on the ground, 4.4 yards per carry, and 263 in the air. Very well diverse dual threat on the ground as well as in the air with Jared Goff. Sean McVay last year their offense got torched by opposing defenses. Teams had a chance to adapt to Sean McVay's style, their play calling, the plays that they would call, the routes they would run. His unorthodox offense, they were able to adapt to. He's had to change it up this year. I definitely see that. Now, I heard there's supposed to be some extreme wind in this game. I heard there's supposed to be like a sustained 15-mile-an-hour wind, as well as some bigger gusts, which would definitely affect some big plays down the field passing. Dustin H. I don't know who the comment is directed to, if it's me or somebody else, but he makes a very good statement. It's something that I talked about in the very opening when we went live. Any game that seems obvious in week 3 should be reconsidered. A lot of traps. Week 3 is the number 1 week for the books to get their money back from the first 2 weeks, just so you know. If it's going to be wind, the weather's going to be nasty from wind. I do like the fact that the Rams have been able to run the ball all over both Dallas and the Eagles. However, the Bills on defense have definitely been defending the run. Now, the Bills on offense, they're averaging 29 points a game. Granted, their competition was the Jets and the Dolphins. Not a real defense just yet. They haven't tested their offense yet against a quality defense this season, in my opinion. They're averaging just 104 yards a game on the ground and 359 in the air. The fact that they're averaging 359 in the air first will get your attention, but then you got to look at who did they play to get that. They played the Dolphins and the Jets. So as far as this one goes, as of right now, I don't have a dollar on it, but I am leaning towards the Rams plus the points. Now, if the Rams were +2 or +2.5, where we saw an opening number, I'd be a little more inclined. +1.5, it'll probably be a pick before it's all said and done. It'll probably be a pick before it's all said and done. We're very close to it. Absolutely, Dolphins put up 28 on the Bills. We went over that one. As far as the money aspect, 67% of the public riding the over, 33% on the under. Public hammering the Bills. But it's coming down. It was higher. It was higher, and that's why we're seeing the line drop from +3. If it was 3, I'd be all over the Rams. But it's not. They're +1.5 right now. 55% of the money is still on the Bills. However, it was a lot higher than that when the line first came out. So as far as this one goes, as far as the side, again, I don't have a dollar on the play, but I do lean towards the Rams. Brad, thanks for renewing for my personal plays. My plays will be sent out again as soon as we get off the show. The other Bradley. We actually have 2 Bradleys. Thank you for both. And you guys signed up at the exact same time for the Sunday play. Thank you for getting on board the Sunday Guaranteed NFL winner. Dominic King, Reggie, Miss Jones, Dennis, Mr. Torres, Mr. Pacheco, my brother Jamar, everybody so far that's gotten on it. Kyle B, you can get it for +3, -155. You know, you can get +3, -$1.60 at BetOnline. Brad, it's going to be another big winning day on the guaranteed play, and the personal plays will be lights out. We had that big sweep last week. We're going to do it again this week. So moving right along. I mean, we've done some good game day breakdowns, but we're a little slow. We're a little slow. Next one I want to talk about are the polar opposites. You got the Houston Texans and the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right, Heinz Field, Pittsburgh at home. Game 465, 466. Taking a look at the opening number, first of all. Steelers were laying 5 with a total of 44.5. Currently at BetOnline, Steelers are laying 4 minus $1.15 with a total of 45.5 minus $1.15 as well. Total's gone up a half a point, although I see it 46 in multiple spots. You've got the Texans starting out 0-2. And you've got some players down in Houston. Well, they're in Pittsburgh today. But on the Texans that are definitely getting frustrated. J.J. Watt does not like losing. Although I don't think anybody does. The Steelers, 2-0 straight up, 1-1 against the spread, 1-1 on the over. Whereas the Texans are 0-2, 0-2. However, they're 2-0 to the over. That big Texans defense, not helping them out any. They gave up 34 points to Kansas City, which is not hard to do. And they gave up 33 in their loss to the Ravens. Not hard to do. I mean, let's be honest. If your first 2 games of the season are against Kansas City and Baltimore, you're probably going 0-2. I don't care what team you are. I don't care if you were the healthy 49ers. You're probably going 0-2. I don't care if you're the Buccaneers. You're going 0-2. I don't care if you're the Patriots. You're going 0-2. I don't care if you're the Arizona Cardinals. You would go 0-2. If your first 2 games in the season were against Kansas City and then Baltimore, you're starting out 0-2. It's just a fact of life. The Texans, they drew the short straw this year. Dustin, it's definitely not the same anymore. That's a fact. However, the Steelers, they've got Big Ben back. They're not the same Steelers that were accustomed. Cater Brown, good morning, says the Steelers' back end isn't good, but Texans don't have time to throw or can't run. Take the Steelers and the over. Tim saying all 3 Watts on the same field today. Fact. Now, as far as this one goes, first of all, Steelers, they're 2-0 on the year. Who did they beat? They beat the Giants 26-16. Now, I give Big Ben some leeway on his first game of the season. I do give Big Ben some leeway on his first game of the season. All right? First game back in over a year. A lot of rust. Got to get used to playing without that big-ass straggly beard. And what did he do? Was it vintage Big Ben? No. Did he throw an interception? No. Did he protect the football? Yes. Had a 117.8 passer rating. 3 TDs, no passes, put up 229 yards, went 21 of 32. That's kind of a Big Ben number. However, it probably should have been 280 or 290 of 36. But I give him some leeway. Granted, they played the Giants, and anybody who starts against the Giants in week 1 should be 1-0. Now in week 2, we saw the Steelers play the Broncos. They were laying 6.5. They won 26-21. They did not cover the spread. They won straight up. They got outscored 18-9 in the second half. They got outscored 11-0 in the third quarter. They got the job done against a Broncos team that already lost to to the Texans in a very close game in week 1. Now, what did Big Ben do in week 2? He had more Big Ben numbers. And this is what I expect out of Big Ben every game. He went 29 of 41, put up 311 yards in the air, 2 touchdowns. He did have that 1 interception. James Carter Connor, excuse me. They only gave him the ball 16 times. And he ran 106 yards. Imagine if he got it 25 times. However, he did rip off a 59-yarder. That's easy to do when you rip off a 59-yarder. He protected the football. Kyle B. Drew Lock did get hurt that year. Or that game, excuse me. However, Drew Lock is, no offense to Drew Lock, I think he's years away. And I don't see him being the franchise quarterback that the Broncos want long term, obviously. They going to get much of a pickup this week? Probably not. But anyways, we'll talk about them later. Back to the Steelers and the Texans today. Can definitely be a big letdown spot for the Steelers. Here they are. They come in and they're laying 4. You're going to think, oh, they're 2-0. Texans are struggling. They're 0-2. They're giving up all these points to offenses. They're not just giving up points to offenses. They gave them up to the Chiefs and the Ravens. Michael says the Steelers need Antonio Brown to be a great offense. I think the Steelers need to go back to doing what they're used to doing, and that's running the ball. When you run the ball, you open up the play-action pass, which gives Big Ben plenty of time, which is what Big Ben needs to make those big plays. The Steelers have always been a ground and pound, and since they went away from that, they haven't been as effective as they want to. Dustin H. says, I wouldn't be surprised if Elway tries to get Brett Favre to come out of retirement for the Broncos. Right? Bradley, we're at the 52-minute mark. We're losing. It's 2-1. I am waiting for Bayern to come out and hammer them the second half. Hopefully they pour it on. Hopefully they pour it on. I'm ready to yell goal, my brother. I'm ready to yell goal. But it's not here yet. I'm actually kind of surprised Tottenham is winning 1-0. I actually expected in the Premier League that game to have a lot more goals. I really did. Expected that one to have a lot more goals. All right, so as far as this one goes, when you start diving in depth and you start taking a look at the numbers, guys, first of all, Deshaun Watson, the Texans on offense, they're averaging only 18 points a game. But again, that was against the Chiefs and the Ravens, all right? 84 yards a game rushing, not good. 247 in the air, that's about average for a Deshaun Watson, all right? The Steelers, they're averaging 26 points per game, 125 on the ground, 254 in the air. The Steelers on defense, controlling the run, limiting teams to 66 yards a game. However, they played the Broncos, they played the Giants. And Barkley torched them for some yards in game 1 in week 1. They're giving up 238 in the air to opposing offenses. The Texans on defense, giving up 198 on the ground at 5.6 yards per carry and 190 in the air. They're -3 on turnovers, but that's because they played the Chiefs and the Ravens. As far as this one goes, where the line is where it's at, I like the Steelers. Jeff, if you're watching, I like the Steelers. I hope they win today. I think they're in a very big, tough spot. I think they're in a very tough situation in today's game. If I had to do anything on this one, and as of right now, I'm not, but if I did anything, this is a dog or pass. This is a classic dog or pass. You can get the Texans at +4.5, -1.15. That's who I would be leaning towards. Now, as far as the total goes on this one, I think the total, you could get sucked into a very low-scoring game. Or Big Ben can come out and Deshaun Watson can come out and they can start slinging the ball. I mean, after all, the Steelers did give up 16 to the Giants and 21 to the Broncos. The Texans defense gave up 34 to the Chiefs and 33 to the Ravens. But as far as this one goes, I don't see him blowing out the Texans. I think the Texans have and will keep that 76th percentile in that range over the last 10 years. A team 0-2 straight up, 0-2 against the spread, getting overlooked and written off in week 2. Denise Snyder says, give me 3 good picks in the NFL today. If you want 3 good NFL picks, feel free to go sign up for our premium plays. We've got 3 in there for you. But if you wanted me just to go down the list and give you 3 free plays, SBR will do that, and they'll give you both sides. I lean towards the Texans, but I'm not betting them. A lean is not a bet. Just because I lean towards the Texans doesn't mean I'm betting them. If you want to know who I'm betting, you got to get on board. Don't worry, I'll give everybody a free play or 2. But as far as this one goes, I just lean towards the Texans, but I'm not a big fan of that game today, so I'm staying off of it. As of right now, it's a no bet for me. Next one we're going to talk about. So no, I don't pick the Texans. I just lean towards them. Like if you put a bullet to my head and you said, Kyle, pick a team, which one covers the spread? That's who I would pick. But it's just a lean. Again, the only bets that I have in as of right now are our premium plays. And our big Sunday play. That one's locked and loaded, baby. That one's locked and loaded. All right, so James Cole says he likes the Texans in a teaser. Probably not bad. I don't see the Steelers blowing them out today. I don't see the Steelers blowing them out today. I really don't. Larry, thank you for jumping on board. Our big Sunday NFL guaranteed play. Thank you, sir. You're going to love it when you're smashing your book later today. All right. The next one we're going to talk about, and I hate saying this, Washington football team. One day, guys, I hope we get to take the Washington football team, because I want to write on our board under free plays, I want to be able to write football team. I mean, let's be honest. How flippin' stupid is that? Football team. Yeah, take the football team, lay in the 6. Which one? The football team. Hey, what team do you like? I like the football team. Hey, do you like football? Yeah, I like the football team. So I was getting my hair cut the other day. I was getting another buzz and getting it shaved and a little high and tight and trimmed up. And the lady was like, oh, do you like football? I said, yeah, I love football. She goes, which football team do you like? And I just had to say the football team, just because she's got no clue. She has no clue that Washington's name is now the football team. She looked at me like I was stupid, like I had no clue what I was talking about. But do I like the football team? No. So to the lady that cuts my hair, I do apologize. She had no clue. All right, so You've got the football team, and then you've got the Browns. All right? Washington, Cleveland, they're both 1-1 against the spread. Or 1-1 straight up. Washington is 1-1 against the spread, 1-1 on the over. You've got the Browns 1-1 and 0-2 against the spread and 1-1 on the over. Justice says, the football team. Exactly. It doesn't get any ifs. Exactly, Karen. And the football team. I don't even like saying it. It's so stupid. But honestly, I can't wait to write it up on the board. Tim says the football team rings a bell, right? It kind of does. It's kind of catchy. Which team do you like? I like the football team. That's actually kind of a cool thing. You can't look like an idiot to your friends when they're like, hey, who's your favorite team? The football team? Yeah, which one? Yeah, that one. Hey, which team did you bet on? I bet on that football team. So when you lose, hey, did you bet on the football team? No, I said that football team. Bet on the Browns. Browns won. Or the Browns lose. You can say, yeah, I bet on the football team. Anyways, enough about the stupid football team. Let's break down the game. All right? Taking a look at the opening numbers for the football team. Browns opening up a 6.5-point favorite. Total on this one opened up at 45.5. Seeing it trend down in the downward direction. Down to 45-ish. I've seen the Browns get as high as 7.5 in a couple spots this morning. As of right now, BetOnline has the Browns laying 7. The football team catching 7. All right, total 44.5 for this game at BetOnline. Washington, 44, 28, and 8 against the spread. Their last 80 games on the road when playing on grass. Woohoo! And the Browns, and I bet you guys can actually believe this number. They're 5-20-1 against the spread at home against fortunate teams with a turnover differential of better than plus 0.3 turnovers a game. The Washington football team is plus 2 on turnovers through 2 games. They beat the Eagles. Sorry, Philly fans. Beating the Eagles was not saying a lot. They beat them 27-17. That game actually went over the total of 41. They were a 5.5-point dog. They beat the Eagles by 10. Kyle, who's the football team's quarterback? Man, we could go on and on and on about the football team. Bradley, I'm not seeing any Bayern updates. We need goals. We need goals. We need goals, my brother. It's looking bad. All right, so they faced the Cardinals. The football team faced the Cardinals. Tim, so do you mean the football team? Yeah, that football team. The free play is on that football team. Not the football team, that football team. You need to specify. Robert, it says, if the Browns' offensive line holds up, we've got a blowout. If not, we have a game. Now, Washington got beat by the 2-0 Arizona Cardinals. Well, they were 1-0. Now they're 2-0 because of the football team. They got beat 30-15 last week. They were catching a touchdown. They lost by 15. That game went under the total of 46.5. We saw 45 scored. Dwayne Haskins so far in the year is 36 of 64 for 401 yards, 2 TDs, and no interceptions. I'm sorry, but I just don't see Haskins as a franchise quarterback. Last week, he went 19 of 33, 223 in the air, 1 TD, an 88.3 passer rating. In their win against the Eagles, he went 17 of 31, barely completing over 50% of his passes, threw for 178 yards and 1 touchdown. Mike Smith, good morning. No, we did not touch the 49ers game. As far as this one goes, and we're going to start trying to get through some of these a little faster, all right? Taking a look at some of the offensive numbers. You've got the football team averaging 21 points a game. Matter of fact, both football teams averaging about 21 points per game. Browns coming in at 20.5 points, all right? Washington averaging 98 yards on the ground, 179 in the air with Haskins averaging 5.6 yards per passing attempt. You've got the Browns on offense averaging 176 on the ground. Run, run, run. It opens up the play for Baker, averaging 193 yards in the air, 6.2 yards per carry. You guys know I'm a Baker fan. I'd love to see good things out of the kid. Will we ever see great? Probably not. All right, now let's talk about the defenses. The Browns defense, they've been torched. They have a win on the season because they beat the Bengals. They beat them 35-30 last week. All right? When they played the Ravens, they got smashed. They gave up 38 points. The Browns defense. So this might be Haskins' time to shine. It might just be. He'll have 31 attempts and maybe he'll hit 60% of them this week. Or maybe 70%. Because the Browns defense has been torched in the air. They're averaging giving up 277 yards in the air, 6.4 yards per passing attempt, only 89 yards on the ground. That offensive line has been able to defend the run. But let's be honest, they got to play Cincinnati. That was a gimme game for them. And it really wasn't a gimme game. It was a shootout to see who wins 35-30. And they got blown the F up in week 1 against the Ravens in their 38-6 beatdown. Now, the football team has been giving up 108 yards a game on the ground, on average through 2 games, 4.4 yards per carry, 243 in the air. They're actually +2 on turnovers. Thank you to Haskins for not throwing a pick through the first 2 games. Washington is 6-1 on the under. Their last 7 games on the road against the AFC North. Now, these two teams, they haven't played in 4 years, so whatever happened when the football team beat them 31-20 in 2016, I promise you, has no bearing on what's going to happen today. So throw all that shit right out of the equation. All right, throw all that stuff right out of the equation. Now, as far as this one goes, I go back and forth on both the side and the total. As far as the side, I go back and forth. The Browns' offensive line, if they can protect Baker and they allow him to pass the ball, if they can establish the run, they should have an opportunity. A touchdown is a lot in the NFL, especially when it's 2 shitty teams. You can't tell me the Browns are a quality program yet. They might have quality personnel, but they're not a quality program. Same thing with the football team. Now, both of these teams may have a win. They may have a win on the resume. And let's be honest, the Washington's win against the Eagles, to me, is more impressive than beating the Bengals. The fact that they actually beat the Eagles in week 1, 27-17, they each got their win at home. To me, that's more impressive than the Browns beating the Bengals 35-30 at home. As far as this one goes, to me, it's a dog or pass. Everybody and their mother, their second cousin, their aunties, their uncles, their TTs, whatever you want to call them, they're all riding Cleveland in the 7 points or laying the 7. So I do lean, and I'm staying away from this one. You know, I've learned my lesson time and time again, and I went against it on Thursday Night Football when I took the over in the Thursday Night Football game. I've learned a long time ago, you don't put your money on 2 shitty teams. and expect him to do great things. Either great on offense or great on defense, one of the two. So while I'm going to live by that standard and I'm going to go back to that standard, I'm not going to have $1 on this game. The total's low, 44.5. They're begging you. The books are begging you to take the over in this situation. 44.5 here. Take it. Take it. Take it on a silver platter. The Browns' first game hit 44 and they only put 6 on the board. In the Bengals game, we saw 65. Now, for the football team's game, the football team, the one from Washington, make sure we're all on the same page. We saw 45 points in their loss against Arizona. And we saw 44 in their win over the Eagles. I can't take Cleveland as much as I want to. I can't take Cleveland laying the 7. No way, no how, not in this situation. Let's be honest. They're both shitty programs. Now, Cleveland has better player personnel in my opinion. I do believe that. All right? Player advantage, definitely lean towards Cleveland. Gio, thank you for signing up on our website. I know you're brand new to us. Mr. Chahay as well. Thank you for signing up for our big Sunday winner as well. I know you're brand new to our site as well. Welcome, everybody. We take care of our own here, that's for sure. Are we live betting today? Hopefully. I should know about live wager. The plan is to go live during the second quarter, but I may have to run home, so I don't know. I'll know here in just a little bit. But hopefully I'd love to do the live wager show today. It's a lot of fun. I do like the live wager. But again, Washington plus the 7 is what I lean towards. As far as the total, I can plead a case for both shitty teams that we're going to see shitty defenses just like we saw against other teams and the total goes over. But I can also plead a case for the under, and the reason why both these shitty teams, including the football team, won't score shit and it stays way under. Maybe we see a 21-17. Maybe we see a 24-17. Maybe we see a 17-14 game. I mean, when you take a look at their numbers on offense, the football team's averaging 21 points a game and 20.5 points a game for Baker Mayfield and the Browns. So as far as the total goes, while I lean towards the under, I won't be anywhere near it. All right, the books are begging you to take the over. The public is on the over. The public, I just looked at it, was 74% on the over. 74% on the over. The books are begging you. The books are begging you, folks. The total opened up at 45.5. Everybody in the world and their second cousins are rolling on the over, yet the line dropped because some sharps bet the under. Now, you guys know me. Just because some self-imposed title sharps want to bet the over or the under or one side or the other doesn't affect where I'm going to be betting. What I do is I base what I'm going to be doing for timing purposes. Yeah, Brad, 2-1 in that game. It's actually a shock. What a trap. What a trap. What a trap on that one. Bayern laying 2. They need to score 3 goals in the next, 17 minutes. Is it possible? Yeah, we've seen it before, but they've got 1 through 74 minutes. So not looking good. Not looking good. That's for sure. But the stats in that one are 12 shots on goal, or 12 shots, 2 on target. Wow. 5 corner kicks. I can't believe the 5 offsides. Crazy. Well, here's to a good ending. And I hope somehow we win on that one. So again, I do lean towards Washington plus the touchdown and more than likely the under. But again, you can't get me to bet that one. All right? You can't get me to bet that one. All right. Now, we don't have much time to go over many more games. So we're going to skip a couple. We're going to bounce around. We're going to take a look at Carolina and the Chargers. In LA at SoFi Stadium. Man, that's a beautiful stadium. Game 479, 480. Line on this one opened up with the Chargers laying 7.5. Panthers catching 7.5 with a total of 44. That's the opening number. As far as this one today, lines dropped a little, a full point. Chargers laying only 6.5. Carolina catching 6.5 with a total over and under 43.5. As far as this one goes, first of all, we have a free play on this in our daily free play video. Pulling up the stats on the public money. 58% riding the under, 42% on the over. And let me hit the refresh button because it's been a little while since I hit. 3-1. Bayern is officially going to be a loser on that one. That is a fact. Because they ain't coming back and scoring 4 goals to cover the 2. That's for sure. That is for sure. Hell, they can't even hit their team total of 3. Wow. Wow, that's actually surprising. Hoffenheim to win both halves, that prop was huge. I think that was plus like 600 for them to win both halves. New York Giants Zone stops in and says, New York Giants, baby, thank you for stopping in. And again, if you guys are new to our YouTube channel, we go live 7 days a week. We don't just do this on Sundays. We go live 7 days a week. We talk about all sports, baseball, basketball, football, you name it. The Tijuana Turtles, breaking down games, giving free plays. So if you're new to our channel, hit that subscribe button right now, right down below. We go live 7 days a week. We put out daily free plays. Ray416 says Packers versus Saints over 52.5 with the prayer. If you bet that, Ray, I'm rooting for you. I don't have $1 on that game. I definitely think with both defenses and Aaron Rodgers led Packers, they definitely have a chance to hit over 52. I think the evening games, there's definitely a lot of points in them, and I don't think I've seen this many 50-point totals in a long time, especially all in the afternoon and evening. All right, so anyways, back to this game. As of right now, taking a look at this game, like we said, Chargers laying 6.5, and a lot of that has to do with the effort of what we saw out of their backup last week. Tyrod Taylor is out this week again with a punctured lung due to the team doctor, who's probably going to get his ass sued, more than likely. Because Tyrod Taylor's time starting with the Chargers is probably done as long as Justin Herbert keeps rolling the way that he rolled. They barely lost. They almost beat the Chiefs last week. He went out there, went 22 of 33. He had 1 TD, 1 interception. He was rushed 4 times. He was sacked twice. He had 1 rushing touchdown, 18 yards on the ground, and 311 yards in the air. Welcome to the NFL. But just like Pick 6 Rivers got his name with the Chargers, I do believe, in my personal opinion, that Justin Herbert will also inherit that title. Give him a couple games. Give him a couple games. Now, Tyrod didn't get an interception in his first game of the season, but he went 16 of 30, and he was flirting with disaster a few times. Now, the Chargers will be in some games throughout the year where they're coming from behind, just like they were with Phillip Rivers. Nothing changed other than they just didn't go back with Rivers, who they obviously thought was their problem in holding their program back, which I disagree with. Poor Justin Herbert, in my opinion, give him time before the season is done, assuming they keep him as the starter. And if he keeps slinging it like he did last week against the Chiefs, he will get the nod for the rest of the season. But I do believe he'll inherit the Pick 6 Rivers title, and it'll be Pick 6 Herbert. It kind of got a nice ring to it, doesn't it? Pick 6 Herbert. You heard it here first. All right? You heard it here first. It's coming, folks. It's coming. Maybe not today, but it's coming. Now, taking a look at this game, taking a look at the matchup, Carolina 0-2 on the year. The Camless Panthers are 0-2 straight up. However, they're 2-0 on the over. I like Herbert too. I just don't like the team he plays for. I don't like the offensive line that protects him. I don't like the receiving core he gets to pass to. If San Diego or LA, if they would have built a quality offensive program around Phillip Rivers and then stacked it with a quality defense, they'd probably won a Super Bowl by now. Now, through 2 games on the year, the Chargers 1-1 straight up. They ended up losing to the Chiefs, and they beat the Bengals. Carolina's 0-2. They played Tom Brady and the Bucs last week, and they lost 31-17. And they played Vegas, who's 2-0, and they almost hung tough with the Raiders. And they beat them 34-30. Do I mean the football team? Yeah, that football team. All right. So as far as the matchup today between these 2 football teams, I think the line is off. I think the books are trying to attack the public today. And the fact that Justin Herbert came out and had an amazing game and almost beat the Chiefs. But you got to remember, the winless Panthers almost beat the Raiders in week 1. Taking a look at some offensive numbers for just this season. Carolina averaging 23.5 points a game. Chargers, 18. Now, granted, Herbert wasn't in for game 1. Carolina averaging 108 yards on the ground a game. 299 in the air. Chargers, fantastic so far. 169 on the ground, 4.1 yards per carry, 251 in the air. 8 yards per passing attempt. But keep in mind, a lot of those numbers were boosted from good old Herbert. And again, I like the kid. So while I may fade him, I do like him. I think he's a quality pickup for him. I mean, he had 4 rushes for 18 carries last game. Take a look at defensive numbers. Carolina holding teams to a whopping 32.5 points a game. The Carolina defense has been torched. They got torched by Derek Carr and the Raiders, and they got torched by Tom Brady and the Bucks. I guess that's saying something when you got torched by both those programs. The Chargers giving up just 18 points a game. But again, they played the Bengals, and they gave up 23 to a Chiefs team that struggled the entire game. Patrick Mahomes was off last week. Patrick Mahomes was off last week. Did that affect their output? Probably. Carolina giving up 127 on the ground. Chargers should be able to run the ball against Carolina, which is odd. It's not the Carolina defense we're used to seeing. Giving up just 228 in the air, -2 on turnovers. Obviously, that has a lot to do with the 2 interceptions Bridgewater has thrown. Through 2 games, Teddy is 55 of 76 for 636 yards in the air, but he's only got 1 touchdown. Only 1 touchdown pass. That changes today, folks. That changes today. Carolina 12-3 against the spread their last 15 games after playing a game that went into overtime. Chargers are just 2-13 playing at home after a conference straight-up loss. Chargers 10-0 on the under at home against poor passing defenses yielding more than 6.9 yards per passing attempt. Again, these 2 teams haven't faced each other in years, so the fact that somebody might tell you Carolina's 5-1 against the Chargers against the spread the last 6 games, throw that shit right out the window. All right, throw that shit right out the window. All right, so Robert S., as far as that game goes, money on that game. Reverse line movement. Reverse line movement on that game. Only 40% of the money coming in is on the Eagles. As far as I can see as of right now, and it was updated, 60% riding the Bengals plus the points. Riding the Bengals and the points. All right, so as far as the Chargers and the Panthers today go, as far as that money goes, taking a look at what we're seeing on this one, first of all, it's pretty even Steven as of right now. And some money coming in on Carolina. It's down to 52% of the money coming in on the Chargers, just 48% on Carolina, 57 to the over, 43 to the under. 73% money line backers backing Carolina on the money line. As far as this one goes, we gave out a free play yesterday on this one. And you can still get it at the same line, but you'd have to buy the hook. All right, and this is not going to be the only free play that I give you guys today because I already gave this to you guys last night. But I will put this on the board under the winners section because it's going to be a winner. Mr. Watson, good morning. But as far as this one goes, not only is it a free play. Now, this didn't make premium plays. Not to say it won't make my personal plays, but I will be betting the Panthers. Sorry, I was looking at the live odds of the Hoffenheim and the Bayern München game. All right, so free play. And we will get this on the board so people do see it. We're putting it in blue ink today. Now we'll... If you notice, we're filing it under the winners section because, folks, that's a winner. That's a winner. As far as that game, Mike, we've got a premium play on the side of that game. As far as the total goes, no real opinion on the total. I know a lot of people are not giving Nick Mullins much credit to be able to compete in any atmosphere where we might see a shootout of a lot of points. So as far as the total goes on that one, I'm off of that one. All right, so gonna move along. We're gonna do one more, and we're gonna make it a fast one. All right, we're gonna make it a fast one for everybody. Let me scroll back up as we passed it earlier. But we're going to do the Titans and the Vikings game next. Remember, if you guys want some nice swag like this one, Hoffenheim with the goal 4-1. What's funny is when I was looking at the live odds, I almost bet it live. Over 4.5 was plus 290 at the 89-minute mark. And I seen the pressure they were putting on. I almost bet it live, and I didn't. Wow. No guts, no glory, no balls, no money. But again, if you guys want to get nice swag like this, hats, mugs, t-shirts, head to our website, cappersdirect.com. Click on the shop link or shop.cappersdirect.com. And you too can dress cool on Sundays. Like myself, Danny Daniels, LT, Anthony, and everybody else with the cool swag. All right, so enough promotion there. Now, back to the Titans, Vikings. First of all, Tennessee, 2-0 on the year. 0-2 against the spread, 1-1 on the over. Vikings, the big goose egg, at home, US Bank Stadium, 1-1 to the over. Vikings last week got torched by Raymond's Colts and Pick Six Rivers. They got beat 28-11. In a game where I had a $6,500 teaser, a fun $6,500 three-point teaser that only needed the over 39 in the flipping Colts and Vikings game, and we couldn't get it. We needed 1 point. And for everybody that thinks that I don't bet on games, why you guys would ever think that, there's a copy of it. That was a loser because I pushed on the total of the Colts game. Now this big parlay was a $7,000 winner, and we put that in our pockets. So, to say I've got a little hate for the Vikings not being able to get me another point somewhere, yeah, it might be out there. Tennessee had a very tough game against Jacksonville last week. They were winning big. They got outscored in the second half 20-9, and they allowed them to make it a close game, 33-30. Again, they did not cover the touchdown that they were laying. Most teams in the NFL don't cover when they're laying a touchdown. As far as the Vikings last week, Kirk Cousins went 11-26, no touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Are we going to see 3 interceptions out of him this week? Probably not. However, the Tennessee Titans are +3 on turnovers, so it is definitely possible. It is definitely possible. So, as far as this one goes, I mean, Cousins did throw the pick 6 last week. But as far as this one goes, Tennessee might be 2-0, but they barely beat Denver, 16-14, low-scoring game, and they beat the Jags 33-30. Now, they should have pounced on the Jags, but they let them come back in the second half. Okay? The Vikings, they lost to Green Bay 43-34. They lost to the Colts, where they got torched 28-11. Colts a quality program. They're a quality team. Are they going to be up there? I think if they can protect Phillip Rivers, they will have a chance. But for the most part, no. Jeff says the Vikings without both starting cornerbacks. Agree. Jesse says the Vikings bounce back. Now keep in mind, 0-2 and 0-2 against the spread against another team that is not 0-2 or 0-2 against the spread. Tennessee's 0-2 against the spread. So the 76th percentile in week 3 doesn't apply here. However, I think this might be a more competitive game than a lot of people think. By no means do I think Tennessee's just going to come in and rout them. I hope they do. Line opened up on this one, guys. The original line had the Titans laying 1.5 with a total of 45.5. The total was 45.5. Where's the total now? 49. Total's up 3.5 points. About to be up 4 points when it hits 49.5 here in a little bit. Vikings are now +2.5 with the Titans laying 2.5. The money line was 137 this morning. It has now been bet up just a tad bit to 148. With the Titans' first half line laying 0.5 point and the money line minus 135, first half total over 24.5. First quarter prop. Total in the first quarter over 7.5, with the Titans being favored by 0.5 point. Team total for the Titans set at 26, 23.5 for the Vikings. Ray says you're thinking so much that you're going to go bald. I don't know if that's directed at me, but I'm already bald if you can't tell. And I'm not thinking, I'm actually just reading stats. I've already bet this game, so I don't have any thinking to do. I've already bet this game to win $3,000. So, and I'm probably going to bet it again for the play that I'm about to give out. Because I'm pretty sure we're on the winning side of this one. So while you've got 1, 2-0, the other two are 0-2 and 0-2 against the spread, Both 0-2 against the spread. A little non-conference clash today. What do I expect out of this one? First of all, Minnesota's 13-2 against the spread when playing at home after a straight-up loss. They bounce back after a straight-up loss when they're at home. Tennessee 2-13 against the spread. Their last 15 games on the road against ill-fated teams with a turnover differential of worse than negative 0.4 turnovers a game. No, Jeff, I'm going to surprise you. Minnesota 11-4 on the under their last 15 games at home against lesser rushing defenses yielding more than 4.4 yards per carry. Titans on offense, averaging 24.5 points a game. Vikings 22.5. Titans averaging 126 on the ground, 239 in the air, 107 on the ground for the Vikings, and just 171 in the air when it comes to the defense. Tennessee's defense have been rock solid, holding teams on average to 22 points a game. Although last week they had a slip up. They gave up 33 to Minshew and the Jags. We'll just call that one anomaly, all right? They're holding teams to 136 on the ground, 5.1 yards per carry. That part I don't like. Vikings should be able to have an opportunity to rush the ball today against Tennessee. Hopefully they can correct that number. Because remember, rush the ball, it opens up the pass. Establish the run, opens up the opportunities for a passing game down the field. And there's no better team today on that field to do that than the Titans with Derrick Henry and that offensive line that they have this year. What's my best tip for someone who wants to start power rating teams? Wait until after week 4, and then the numbers will be more consistent. Don't base your power ratings off of week 2. Because some teams have played 2 really shitty teams and they've got overinflated numbers. And then there's teams that have played quality teams and have undervalued numbers. So wait until week 4 when numbers start to even out. As far as the defensive side of things go, Vikings giving up 35.5 points a game on D. Titans, 22. Vikings giving up 154 on the ground and 283 in the air. What I see happening today, and let's remember, Titans are +3 on turnovers through 2 games. Vikings are -3 on turnovers. Oh man, that's a tough live bet. That's a tough live bet at 90 +2. I've been there with some bad beats. It's like the Ohio State touchdown, or the touchdown that they gave up with 7 seconds. Right, Jeff? That was a bad beat for us. As far as this one goes, the defense, I give the edge to the Titans. The offense, I would normally give the edge to the Vikings. But not this meeting, not this matchup. I give the edge to the Titans. And I'm not a Titans fan. Let's just put it that way. Okay? I'm not a fan of the Titans. I'm not a fan of Tannehill. But the guy can make us some money, that is for sure. What are we going to see out of the Titans? They are going to run the snot out of the ball. The Vikings giving up 154 yards a game on the ground. As long as Derrick Henry gets his 25 to 30 rushing attempts, he'll be in 3 figures. He had 25 rushes last week against Jacksonville. He put up 84 yards. He had no touchdowns on the ground. Today, that probably changes. Establish the run. It opens up the play action pass for Tannehill, who's averaging 239 yards a game in the air. He put up 4 passing touchdowns last week. No interceptions. A long 63-yard pass, if you guys remember. to old Smith. Humphreys was his big targeted receiver last week with 6 targets. He spread the ball out pretty evenly. Everybody got yardage last week. So as far as this week goes, I know Minnesota is 5-1 against the spread against Tennessee, but they haven't played since 2016. I know Minnesota's 13-2 against the spread at home after a straight-up loss. That number will be 13-3 after today. I know Tennessee's 2-13 against the spread on the road. Now, I don't know what they're doing on the road, or against the spread today. I think the game is going to be somewhat close. I don't think it's going to be a Tennessee blowout. By no means. But I definitely give the edge to the Titans. And it is a premium play, and we took them on the money line. We gave them out at minus 137 this morning. I think it's up, like we said, up to 140-something, 145-ish. I bet them this morning. I will probably bet them again before kickoff. But I do like the Titans. Premium play. And let's put that sucker on the board, because that, my friends, is going to be a winner. We took Tennessee on the money line, minus 137. So if you get it at 145, that's fine. Whatever you guys get it at. And we're putting that under the winners. Because those are winners, folks. Those are winners. So leave that up on the board for just a second. So there's that one. And I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. Hopefully I'm not done yet. Need to double check something here, because I might have a free play. Another free play for you guys, which I'm just double checking everything. Some Belarus soccer in 22 minutes. Oh boy, Ruk Bress and Slutskahar Slutsk. Belarus soccer was our stable during old Corona. Kind of let us down. It kind of let us down the last couple times we played. All right, so give me 1 second. Just double checking to make sure that we can still get a good line on it. Make sure it hasn't moved from where we were earlier in the day. And the screen shut off. Hold on 1 second. Awkward. But anyways. So, let me just double check everything, because I was intending to give everybody a free play in soccer. But I want to make sure that the line is still where we need it to be. Okay? Yeah, it's not bad. It's still quality. Still quality. And this one starts, guys. This one starts soon. All right? This is a noon Eastern time, 9 Pacific game. So we'll have a little action. Before we get NFL action. All right? Kyle B says Julio is out now. Yes, he's not supposed to stay. Nathan, that is incorrect. Nathan says spread is 2.5 to 3. Raymond, if he's taking the money line, he probably thinks they cover. That is an incorrect statement. If I thought they'd cover, I would just lay the minus 110 and take them on lay the points. Excuse me. I'm trying to multitask. I think the game is going to be a fairly competitive game. I don't think it's a blowout. The only reason I'm taking the money line is because there's value on it. I can get them to win the game and lay $1.37, which I did, or I can lay 3 points at minus 110. Let's do the math. Let's find value in which one to take. Raymond, I know you asked that because you can't I know you can't bet money lines, but my friend, I think it's time for you to open up a book offshore so you can start betting money lines. If the value in the play was on the spread, I'd give you guys the spread. You either bet the money line or don't hold me responsible if they don't cover. Because the only thing that I'm betting is the money line. If I was betting the spread, I'd tell you I was betting the spread. All right, so soccer. Soccer free play in 18 minutes. Some good La Liga Spanish soccer. Or actually, hold on. Let me double check. Spanish soccer's coming later. So if you're on my personal plays, you will be getting soccer today. Jeff, I know you're not a big soccer bettor, but just bet it because it's going to put money in your pocket, and we all know everybody can use it. So a little Italian soccer for the live chat. AC Milan. AC Milan in 17 minutes. They're laying $1.45 at BetOnline. And I literally just bet it. That's what I was doing when I was multitasking, reading the comments. Boy, did that screw up AC, huh? All right, so there's that one. Now, put those plays in. Let's make some money. There is a chance that I will go live again. If I go live, it'll be during the second quarters of the games. All right, there's a chance that I will go live later. If I do, it'll be during the second quarter of the games for live wager. I'm trying to, guys, but I think I have an appointment that I have to make, which I'll know here shortly. And either way, I'll post it on my Twitter feed at CapNationKyle if I do. So make sure you guys follow me on Twitter. I'll probably put out more free plays. If you're new to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Mr. Fulton, good morning. Danny D-Rock, good morning. No fishing lately, but I did just get the bass boat back. New carpet, new seats, new padded deck. It's looking great. Again, good luck to everybody. Hit that subscribe button. Remember, the big Sunday guaranteed play. You have until 4 p.m. Eastern time to get on board. 4 p.m. Eastern time. Our premium plays are my personal plays. They're picking up some steam. We won every game in the evening last night, and we're going to start right where we left off this morning, and that's winning. So don't miss out. Buy 3 days, get 3 days free. That deal is ending soon. So if you were thinking about getting on board, now's the time to get on board. Now's the time to get on board. Robert asks, yes, I hope everybody has a profitable play or a profitable day today. All right, I hope everybody has a profitable day today. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. If you're on my personal play, stand by. Games will be coming out, or I'll start sending them in about 15 to 20 minutes. So give them about 30 minutes or less, and you'll have my personal plays sitting in your laps. All right, guys, good luck to everybody. And remember, as I always preach to you guys, always, always, always bet within your means. All right? Always bet within your means, folks. And again, don't do anything stupid. And pizza sounds amazing. I'm starving. I'm absolutely starving. All right, guys. I am out of here. And we will see you guys all very, very soon. Take it easy, everybody. Have a great day. Have a blessed Sunday. All right, we'll see you guys soon.